channel.
The No Pressure channel presents the May event. The May event is where we let you guys, the voters, decide on which category, which character will face off in. Now, on this one, well, let me explain the rules first. First rule is have fun. My opinion doesn't mean it's ultimately the result of 100% guaranteed bulletproof answer that my argument is going to trump anyone else's argument. That's not the case. It's just me making the case, you guys feeling free whether or not you agree with it. Number two, you guys have to have been the ones who have decided the characters in which category. So you guys did on TikTok for the past couple months, and if you guys didn't get a chance to do that, there's always next year for that, guys, so don't worry about it. And now number three, the last thing is, usually we do two different arguments and then we leave it at just you guys to decide down in the comment section which one hashtag wise you thought made the most compelling argument. In this case, we're not doing that. One winner must be determined. It's no tie in this one, so one is gotta win this one. And on today's episode, we are doing I don't know if this is our very first. I'm not sure because it's been a while since I've actually looked at my playlist and all the videos. We've done a lot of videos over the years, but if it is, this might be our very first ever May event triple threat match. And on today's episode, we're going to have Ant-Man Hank Pym going against Kid Flash. I believe it's Bartholomew. I forgot how to say his name. And then you obviously have Darkseid himself, who is the winner of our villain and anti-hero tournament. And if you guys want to look at that one, if you guys want to see how that happened, you guys can look at the playlist. It says third tournament. That's where the villains and anti-hero match took place. It was a pretty interesting one. So now let's get things started. Here is pretty much their feats. In one corner, representing the Marvel realm and the only Marvel comic character in this fight, Ant-Man, aka Hank Pym. Now let's talk about his feats. Let's start off with the fact that he can create a pocket dimension, has over 900 weapons in his pocket, small size whenever he needs it. He can use his Pym particles to make them large, set up a transmitter on the center of nexus of reality. Okay, that's crazy. Made Ultron using his brain waves to make them. All his weapons practically have limitless ammo, able to enlarge himself while keeping his natural strength to go with the size. Fought the biblical Goliath, and this is a fun fact, known as Earth's scientist supreme by Eternity himself. And in another corner, representing the DC comic realm, is none other than Kid Flash himself, aka I'm pretty sure his name is Bartholomew. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Let's talk about a few of his feats. He held his own against Godspeed, and if you know Godspeed is pretty hard to beat. So much so that Godspeed had to retreat before he can throw down with Kid Flash officially. Able to keep the memory of everything he reads, making him super intelligent. Phased through bullets, had the power of the entire Speed Force in him to face off Superboy Prime, which means he carried practically the force of the multiverse in his body. He was once just the Speed Force itself. And lastly, on the other corner, representing also the DC comic realm, we have none other than the new god himself, Darkseid. Now, let's just talk about a few of the feats that Darkseid has accomplished. They're pretty good. He fought Highfather, fought Anti-Monitor, took on the entire Marvel family. If you don't know what Marvel family is, it's your Sam family. Took on the entire Green Lantern Corps themselves. And of course, he took on the original 7. That original 7 of the Justice League included Wonder Woman, Superman, Aquaman, The Flash, Green Lantern, Cyborg, and Batman himself. Alright, so let's talk about Ant-Man first. Hank Pym. Now, to be said about how Hank Pym could win this fight. Obviously, he can increase his size, so that way it's much more difficult to mass-wise to actually penetrate his body, or he can shrink himself to size to make it much more difficult to aim him as a target. Either way, he gets the advantage on that end. Another benefit of being small is that he can go into your bloodstream, so he could technically get into Darkseid's bloodstream or go into Kid Flash's bloodstream and then like do damage within, maybe if they have vulnerable spots within themselves. To do that, he also can conjure and summon the entire ant community from the world. So if he called them, he could probably get them numbers wise to outmaneuver them or overpower them at some point, because a lot of ant armies going against you is going to do some damage. They could probably distract Kid Flash, where he's not being able to focus while there's so many going on him. They could probably overtake him. Same thing with Darkseid. He can get distracted by that end and that end about that. Another thing is to consider is the fact that Hank has his Pym particles, which at any point in time he could throw it at them, making them maybe smaller or bigger. I wouldn't go bigger, but if he gets some smaller size, he could probably squish them like a bug. Or he could probably throw bigger objects. He could throw like a tiny car, throw it at it, and then throw the Hank Pym particle at it, and then bam, it grows in size, and then it hits him where he doesn't see it coming. There's a lot of ways where Hank Pym Ant-Man has the advantage of when it comes to the element of surprise in this fight. Now, on the other hand, you have Kid Flash. Kid Flash, he's going to be the ultimate bobbing and weaving situation, because he's fast enough to dodge a lot of these attacks and create distance if he needs to catch his breath during a fight between these three guys, between the other two guys. Because you got Darkseid and you got Ant-Man. Obviously, it's going to be a pretty interesting challenge when you're going against someone who can grow into a giant skyscraper and another guy who's practically almost already a skyscraper, but he's kind of the Statue of Liberty at this point. Or maybe even smaller than that. I don't know. But anyways, beside the point. The three are pretty interesting to go against. So Kid Flash is gonna... Here's the thing about Kid Flash. He has his brain to come in handy in this situation. His smarts is gonna come in handy because he actually can read something, memorize it after he reads it, and most of the majority of the other Flash characters aren't capable of doing that. So if he wanted to, he could probably find out history about Darkseid, go run somewhere to history, read about him, then find a weakness on that end. Same thing with Ant-Man. He could go and look into his experimental stuff, read into his scientific notes, find a pinpoint weakness, and then go jam the device. And in a moment's notice, he can actually disarm Ant-Man with his equipment if he wanted to, or he could find weaknesses between the two based on his book smart reading time ability. If he lets them fight each other for a while, he could do that, creating some time. Or again, he could just kind of come in and throw down with a few of them. If he was capable of dodging a lot of faster characters, I'm pretty sure he could probably do some kind of of damage between the characters. Another thing he could do is create tsunamis to kind of wipe Darkseid out, or he can even create tornadoes to kind of keep Darkseid on his toe, or he can even create tornadoes on his hands to kind of blow Ant-Man's little ants or himself out of existence. Either way, Kid Flash does have a lot of things going for him. He can keep his speed to dodge. He can also manage to use a lot of the wind power abilities, like throwing wind at them or throwing a tornado, or using the tsunami again, like a water tidal way to take down Darkseid. A lot of options where Kid Flash might have an advantage. Now, the last character on this triple threat match is Darkseid. Darkseid is gonna be a handful, like no doubt. These two, look, let's not BS it. Darkseid is capable of taking on a lot of superheroes at once. He's able to take on the original 7 when it comes to the Justice League. We're talking Wonder Woman, Cyborg, the Green Lantern, Flash himself, Superman, Batman, and I forgot the 7 for the Aquaman. So you have all 7 of those characters, and they still couldn't take him down by themselves. He's taken a lot of big characters. Even in crossovers, he's taken blasts from, he's throwing down with Silver Surfer and Galactus. He took a blast from Galactus and still managed to get back up. So all in all, and it's been said that Darkseid is one of the 5 most important elements in the existence, or one of the most important elements, because there needs to be good and bad in the world. Like, he's a negative energy battery that needs to work with the positive battery, or some kind of thing like that. I can't remember the technicality of it, but either way, Darkseid needs to exist in the world. So the winner of the first ever triple threat match here in the May event of 2023 is none other than our winner of the villain and anti-hero match, the 3rd tournament, Darkseid. And as always, no press fam, much love, and we really appreciate you guys. Catch you guys later. Peace.